In this video, I'm going to show you how you can detect any color you want. Not just the 9 colors or 8 colors that come with the coating, but any color in the universe.
Dark green, dark blue.
So often when you want to detect colors with a color sensor, if you look on the app, you can tell up here what color it's seeing, or you can go into here and you can see that it's now seeing red if you've selected color. I think it goes to color by default. So it sees red and it sees yellow, no worries. And it can see green, but it can't really distinguish between that green and another green. And if you put this color on, it doesn't really detect that that's dark blue. Even though it looks black, it doesn't detect it as any color. So sometimes you've got colors that are obvious, but other times they don't really appear on the grid of about 8 different colors that it's got. So usually here you can get it to detect any one of those 8 colors or no color at all, but sometimes some of these colors or some of the colors that you want to detect are not on that grid, and you might want to detect more colors. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. We're just going to make a very simple program so that we'll choose one of these blocks that says when B is the color red, we'll do something. Okay. We might just write the word red on the screen and then make a sound. It's kind of fun to record your own sounds. So I'm going to record my sound. It just says red. I'm going to use this one. Let's record a sound. Red. Now you can speed it up, slow it down. Sometimes my computer doesn't play the sound. So I'm just going to say that I'm going to call out red up here. If I close the app and reopen the app and then connect again, we're going to edit the sound.
Red.
So you might want to trim it.
Red.
And save that, close it. Now, when it sees the color red, it should say red if I press play. So I'm going to press play and we'll see if it says it.
Red. Red.
It said it on the screen first and then it said the word. Maybe it'd be better if it was the other way around. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just thinking for future colors, it might be good to hear it first. Yellow would be no worries. We can do the same thing for yellow. We could just duplicate this. And we could say, if it says yellow, then say yellow. So we're going to record a sound for yellow. Yellow.
Yellow.
Save. Okay. What about this color? That color doesn't come up. It comes up as black or nothing. So it's a bit confused. So we don't really want it to say, we don't want it to be black because we might use black later on for something else. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these readings in here, not for color, but for red, green and blue. The RGB settings can help you identify and isolate different colors. So at the moment, this particular color is seeing a reading of 48-ish for red and a number about 57 for green and a number about 63 for blue. So I think it's fun to make some variables. Let's make some variables. And we're going to make a variable called red. and we're going to make a variable called green, and we're going to make a variable called blue. Now, a variable is just a number that can change, or a value that can change, isn't it? So we can make these numbers relate directly to what it's seeing when this is on blue, for example. And I think the best thing to do is to add some more extension blocks here. See down at the bottom left here, you can tap down there and you can say more sensors. And then you've got all these extra sensor blocks to play with. There's an option here. The color sensor just sees a red value. I think we're going to go when program starts. When program starts, and inside our forever loop, inside this forever loop, we are going to add from the variables. We're going to set the blue value to whatever the blue is reading. Okay, put these up here. But we're also going to set green value, or we're going to set the green value to whatever value the green is actually seeing at the time. And then the blue, we're going to do the red as well. Red. Okay. So now, over here, when the program starts, if I press play and we put the blue brick there, the dark blue brick there, you'll see now over here, it's getting a reading of about 74 to 76 for blue, about 65, 66 for green, and about 55, 56 for red. So we can use those three numbers in an operator. So we're going to grab an AND block from the operators, and in there we're going to put another AND. And we're basically going to say, when it sees this, this, and this, then play it sound like dark blue or something. So in here, we can choose this block here, put it in there, and say when blue, when the value for blue is between maybe say 70 and 80, and the value for green, so we're going to go to green, is between say 61 and 71. I'm trying to go about 5 either side. Okay, and then we can just duplicate it if you want, but change that one to red. When red is between 50 and 70, 50 and 60, when red is between 50 and 60, then it should be detecting that color, but we're saying right now. So put that to the side. We don't need to really touch that anymore. That's just establishing these values here, which we can use when we're filling out these blocks here. Oops, there's a mistake. Oh dear. When blue is between 70 and 80, and yep, all that stuff, we put it in when. Okay. We don't really need to mention the color sensor because the color sensor determines these numbers here anyway. So we can just say when those values appear, then we're going to start a sound. We'll duplicate this. We might write dark blue on the screen, and we're going to record a sound. Dark blue.
Dark blue.
Okay, so now if we start the program, put that here,
Dark blue.
recognises dark blue. So we need to make a block like this for green. It's pretty simple now that we've got the values over here, because we can just duplicate this. Okay, we'll make the sound first.
Light green.
So I've recorded and saved the sound as light green. Now we just go to select that here and change the text on the hub to light green. And you'll notice if I place a light green brick in front of the sensor, the values to the side here change. So we need the code to reflect those values for that color by changing the blue, green and red values in my code to match the ones for light green. So we're going to change these numbers to be sort of 5 either side of the blue readings and then 5 either side of the green readings and then 5 either side of the red readings. So if a color is sensed in that range, then it will say light green on the hub and it will say light green out loud. So red, I'm just going to say like 269 and 279 because the reading's around 274. Okay, now it seems to be working.
Light green.
So we've sorted out the light green. Now we need to do something about when we put a dark green block in front of the sensor. So we're just going to duplicate the whole light green section, right click or hold it down if you're on a tablet, and duplicate it, going to make a new sound for dark green. Dark green.
Dark green.
So we're going to select the new sound, and then we have to, after we rename what's written on the screen, we have to look at the variables again for the dark green. So for blue, it's going to be between 75 and 85 because the actual reading is 80. And then for green, we're going to make it between 92 and 102. It's around 98, 97. And then for red, we're going to make it between, well, 54 is the magic number, so we're going to go 5 either side of that. We'll go 49 to 59. And then that should detect dark green and play the dark green sound whenever we want it to.
Light green. Dark green. Dark blue.
And then for light blue, we're just going to duplicate the red one because the light blue colour is already on the grid here. So we're just going to use that one and record the sound. Light blue.
Light blue.
So just going through the normal process of naming it and then selecting it and then adding the text to the hub until we're all good. So once all that's done, I'm just going to tidy up my code a bit. And that's all the colours that I wanted to detect. Hopefully that's given you some insight on how to detect all the colours. We're going to give it a bit of a test run to see if it works.
Yellow. Red. Light green. Dark green. Light blue. Dark blue. That's an onion, you idiot.
Here's a shout out to my current members. You can become a member too just by joining my channel. And if you like this video, you're going to love this one about how I made a Sphero Indie, which is a colour detecting robot, out of Spy Prime.